So I'm just back from 2 very enjoyable days at Coupa Inspire in London, and here are my 5 takeaways from the event. We'll start with the general feel of the conference, and we'll finish with an update on the headcount cuts that have taken place in the organisation recently. So, how was Inspire compared to previous ones? Well, honestly, it was quite flat. A number of people used that particular word to me when we discussed the environment, and I think a big factor in that was the choice of venue. London's Excel is a sort of high ceiling warehouse type feel, big rooms, big breakout rooms, and it just didn't have that feel, that energetic environment we normally get from Coupa Inspire, and was certainly quite a contrast to the very nice hotel we had in Berlin last year, and to the O2 Intercontinental that was used previously. So I think, it's always difficult to work out how many people are going to come, but it just didn't feel right, and so that was a common discussion topic during the course of the couple of days. And adding to that lack of energy, that sort of fear, was the absence of Coupa CEO Rob Bernstein, who left the business earlier on this year. If you've not been, he normally sets the tone on the opening morning with a really inspirational, energetic speech, and he makes the whole place feel like a cult, as one person put it to me. But his absence, in my opinion, contributed to that lack of energy. And, whilst the people who did the opening keynote were perfectly competent public speakers and, respected members of the senior management team at Coupa, unfortunately, they're not Rob Bernstein, and his are big shoes to fill. And so I think that's something which is going to be a factor, not just at events, but also in the Coupa culture for a while to come yet. In terms of the alliance partners, it's a big part of the Coupa show. I think overall numbers were down, and that was mainly, I think, there were a few less tech partners than there were in Berlin last year. All the consultancies were still there, and for me, it was quite interesting to watch the dynamic, because you had KPMG, PwC, and Accenture who all compete for the same sorts of projects, all next to each other. So it's quite interesting to be a bit of a voyeur watching all the personalities that I know involved in that. Deloitte were off to the side. They had the wellness lounge, which was a great innovation. They had a masseurs. Thanks for the massage. That's really got rid of a few of my golf aches and pains. But I think they suffered a little bit from being off to the side as well. So that layout of alliance partners, for me, didn't quite work okay. It looked impressive, and certainly from above, the layout was interesting, but I'm not sure it quite works. So there's a bit of thought there needs to go into the venue and the layout in future, because it just didn't feel it was as strong as previous Inspires. In terms of the content, that's a big thing in events now, because of course there are so many events on the calendar, and I think the bar was raised last year by Matthias Guzman with Digital Procurement World, and procurement leaders seem to respond to that. Last month they certainly need to raise their game after the agenda being quite samey for a while. And here we had some really good stuff with Coupa, and some stuff which I felt could be improved. So Tim Peake, the astronaut, he was fantastic on the opening morning, and it's not unusual for the non-procurement people to be really interesting and give a different perspective and be very enjoyable. And the best session I went to besides that was the interview with John Dixon, the former CPO of AstraZeneca, Heinz, Diageo. He gave a refreshingly honest sort of summary of his career, which I found very informative indeed. And also the sessions run by the consultancies, PwC, Deloitte, KPMG, that I attended, were all really good, really informative, well run as well. But I did feel that some of the Coupa focused sessions went on a bit too long. I know it's their show, they want to sell their wares, of course they do, a lot of time, effort, resources goes into that. But I just feel that unless you truly, really immerse in the subject, it can be easy to lose engagement. And it's noticeable a lot of people are sort of scrolling on their phones halfway through some of the sessions that I was in. So I think, it could be shorter and punchier and more impactful moving forward. So anyway, final point now. What about the headcount cuts? Well, in the video I made 2 or 3 weeks ago, just after the cuts were announced, I said that we were estimating 20% of global headcount, which was higher than as high as I thought it would be. I certainly didn't think it would be higher, and I was dismissive of speculation of it being as much as 30%, but I was wrong. It turns out that the figure's about 26-27%, roughly 1,000 people globally that have either lost their roles, are in consultation, or about to find out because the processes are longer in certain countries with different labour laws. So that's the sort of the scale of the cuts in the organisation. And speaking to people that are still employed, that have still got their jobs, they're all sorry to see those people lose their roles. It's a sad situation when you lose colleagues like that. And some, have been very, very unfortunate indeed because they've been high performers, but just unfortunately not in the right area of the business or whatever decision-making criteria is applied. But the general feel, it has to be said, is that a lot of people feel the business needed it. It needs to be leaner and they'll be stronger moving forward now that they've made those changes. I think they've still got a challenge with the change in leadership, but we'll remain to be seen how that goes. So a very interesting couple of days, very enjoyable. I got everything I wanted, the networking, the education, the insights into the tech, etc. So there we go, and I hope you found this useful. If you have been affected by the Coupa job cuts, you've not been in touch with us already, please do contact me. And if you're looking to hire and you want to know what's going on, then of course we can give you some very valuable information which I couldn't share publicly. So there we go. And if you've not seen our latest Insider, that's out on our website. So get download that there, and of course you can get our contact details as well. Okay, thank you.